Okay, and welcome back. We're going to look at some practice here over what we just did in our last lecture, and let's take a look at that. Okay, so we're going to determine comparative advantage, and we're going to use the output method, and we're looking at Japan and Canada, and we're going to do the same thing that we did over in our last, right? So we're going to look at our per unit. All right, there we go. All right, we're going to look at our per unit, and we're going to put the other over. So we're going to have our 2 here, we're going to have our 6 here, and we're going to do our 4, and we're going to do our 4. So we know that 1 CD is going to cost us, right, as 2 over 4 is 1/2 beef. All right, and 1 beef is going to cost us 2 goes in there, 2 CDs. All right, and then back over here, so we got 6, and we know that 1 CD is going to cost us how much beef, and we have 6 over 4. So, right, we've got 2 goes into each, so we got 3 over 2. Beef, right? 1 point something, right? And then we've got right over here 2/3 CDs. Okay. All right. And so which nation has an absolute advantage in producing CDs? Well, absolute advantage, none, neither, right? None. Which nation has an absolute advantage in producing beef? Well, Canada, because they can produce 6. Japan can only produce 2. So we'll say Canada. Which has a comparative advantage in producing CDs? Well, 1/2 is less, so that would be Japan. I'm so sorry. It is really hard. I can't use my pen on this, so I have to use that doesn't even say anything. It's Japan, right? We'll just do this. There we go. Which has a comparative advantage in producing beef, right? And that is going to be Canada. All right. And should Japan specialize in CDs or beef? They should specialize in CDs because they have a comparative advantage in CDs, and they should specialize in beef because they have a comparative advantage in beef. Okay, with that horrible, horrible writing that looks like a 2-year-old, let's move on to the next question. All right, the production possibilities curve in Atlantis. And then the production possibility curve for Xanadu. So they're going to ask you a bunch of questions like this. And you're going to say, how the heck am I supposed to do this? This looks completely different. It's like, no, you put Atlantis over here. You put Xanadu over here. Right? You make your graph like you normally do. I was doing pretty well there for a second. And then, right? And then you put cars and you put tractors. And you say, how much can Atlantis produce? Well, they can produce 30 cars or 10 tractors. Right? There's Atlantis' 30 or 10. Right there. And Xanadu is how many cars? Well, 20. And 40 tractors. And now you're going to do what we always do, right? And you're going to figure out which country has an absolute advantage. So go ahead and do that now. Pause the video, and then we'll figure this out, okay? All right, welcome back. And we're going to take a look at the answers for this, right? A is Xanadu. There's the explanation. B, Atlantis. There's the explanation. It's pretty simple. The next slide. The answer is Atlantis. The explanation, you can use the math, right, is because the opportunity cost for Atlantis to make one car is 1/3 a tractor, which is less than the opportunity cost of Xanadu. Right? Opportunity cost is 2 tractors, I should say cost. And then finally, Xanadu will import cars. Xanadu should not make cars. They should specialize in making tractors and import cars from Atlantis since they have a lower opportunity cost. Okay. And that is all we've got for your practice. If you have any questions over those, let me know, and I will help you out as much as I can. Thank you. Until next time.